The commissioner of the West Coast Conference, Gloria Nevarez, joining us on the Deseret First Credit Union hotline via Zoom. Gloria, we appreciate you spending some time with us amidst such a busy and frankly unfortunate situation. Great to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me. Good to see you guys.
Yeah, I know this was a really tough decision, and that's putting it lightly for you and the conference officials to have to make. But ultimately, why did you feel like the conference needed to shut down all of fall sports?
Well, you know, we compete for national titles in all of our fall sports, you know, cross country, volleyball, soccer. So it was really important for us to not foreclose those opportunities too quickly. However, you know, finding a solution for large batch, quick turnaround testing and being able to have teams in our geographic region to play against are two really key factors in being able to safely compete this fall. And, you know, with some of the announcements in other leagues, it just, you know, even in our own league, some of our campuses going all virtual, it just really, you know, the writing was on the wall. It didn't seem possible that we could execute it fall seasons in a safe manner.
So there's a lot to break down within that. So let's start with the, you know, you kind of look around as a league and go, well, if there isn't going to be an NCAA championship anyway, is there a point in doing this? Was that a big factor in this as well?
It was. And when we made the decision, it was yesterday. And we were at percentages where, you know, field hockey was already canceled. Men's soccer had been canceled. And we were only about 20 teams away from getting to 50% in the other fall sports. And I had already known about some other conferences that were planning on canceling. So it was just time.
Then logistically, as you mentioned, trying to get quick turnaround testing, money's a thing, right? And the revenue sport in this league is men's hoops. There wasn't a March Madness. There's no unit money. That's certainly a challenge, right? What were the logistics around being able to test frequently with these schools, given no March Madness and other challenges? Was that a challenge and a thing that went into this decision as well?
Well, it certainly is a financial consideration, but I will say all of our teams and schools were committed to testing. It's just the access to point of care tests that we can get quick turnaround on. You know, football's a different proposition because you play once a week and, you know, you could feasibly test, keep folks in a bubble. Whereas when you're playing soccer and volleyball and you are Thursday, Saturday, you know, Friday, Sunday, and in the volumes that we would need those tests and the turnaround times, the technology and the availability just isn't there yet.
Well, and then there's the case of local governments. I mean, you're dealing with 4 different state governments, Washington, California, Utah, or just
Oregon.
And Oregon, that's right. So, I mean, you're handling all these different local governments, and some are not allowing work to resume and students on campus. So, I mean, what was that like, handling the idea that, hey, BYU's been back since June, but, you know, my California schools they don't have anybody on campus?
Yeah. And we as a league had a philosophy that, look, we're a league, we're family, we want to compete together, but we don't want to hold anyone back either. And so that's why we held out for so long. And you know, the same philosophy is going to apply to us for our winter sports and basketball, because, you know, we want to give ourselves every chance to solve this issue and do it safely. But to your point, we have quite a few schools in California that just, you know, are all virtual, don't have students back on campus yet. And again, back down to that basic issue of being able to get large batch, quick turnaround testing. We feel comfortable bringing students back to campus and keeping them in the bubble. I think schools have done a good job in that sense. But how do you cross-pollinate? How do you know, get on a bus or a plane and play against somebody else if you don't have this technology to quickly test and get results back?
Yeah, that makes sense. And when this first happened, it was like, oh, we can't produce masks fast enough, right? And now it feels like, hey, we need the testing to be faster, as you're saying. So now the push is, all right, we're going to look at spring. What's the reality of that? What are the conversations like that you're having to try and see if that's a possibility?
So all of those conversations have just started in earnest. And really, we are, as a league, committed to having an experience for our fall sports student athletes. What that looks like yet, I don't know. And whether we can pull it off, I'm not yet sure. But as a league, we're committed to exploring every possible option.
What kind of a timeline have you given yourself to try and put a plan in place?
Well, I think, it's tough to say because, again, that testing issue hasn't even been solved for winter. So I think we're all taking a deep breath after our big decision, and we're going to put our nose to the grindstone and try to figure out spring. I do think we need to figure out how many teams are left with the idea that they will compete in spring, because that's going to dictate a lot of how this is formatted.
And when you look at men's hoops, that's kind of the next question, at least in the league, right? I know San Diego's not going to play FCS football. BYU's trying to play FBS football, has 4 games scheduled for now, hopefully more soon. With men's hoops, will you be surprised if we play in the fall at all, or do you think it's going to be something in the winter, perhaps delayed?
Yeah, I'm an optimist by nature, but it's tough for me to see hoop season going in a normal pattern at this point. I don't know what that means yet, but again, as a league, we're committed to hanging in there and trying to figure out how to execute basketball season as close to normal in the safest manner that we can. And again, with basketball, time is our ally, because season doesn't start until November 10th. So, come on, technology.
Yeah, and that's what we were in March for now, and we were hoping it'd be different, and we hope it's different in a couple of months as well. And when you look at the impact on fans in the stands, that's probably back of your mind, but with men's hoops, is that in the conversation as well, and is that governed by state? Because that's the conversation I guess we've had with football is, okay, what's the state of Utah saying what we can do here?
It certainly is in our minds, because, the safety of everyone who comes to watch is paramount importance. And basketball for us means the tournament. We don't, dictate what goes on the campuses as far as fan attendance. So that will be dictated by our campuses. But as far as Las Vegas is concerned, we're working with the Orleans, and Las Vegas Events has taken a lead in trying to help event operators like ourselves really figure out those questions for each particular event. And the nice thing about Vegas is they're chipping away at this in all manner of events, entertainment, sports, and everything. So I'm optimistic by March we'll have some good guidelines or guardrails in place.
Gloria Nevarez, the West Coast Conference Commissioner, is with us on BYU Sports Nation. I want to shift gears a little bit and talk about something that was released just a few days ago, about a week ago, the Russell Rule in hiring head coaches. This is a very progressive movement by the West Coast Conference that's gotten a lot of nice notoriety and nice national attention. For those that don't understand, what is the Russell Rule, and how will it impact a school like BYU and the rest of the WCC members?
Yes, thank you for asking about that. It's an important initiative for us, and I just want to give a shout out to Liz Darger on the BYU athletic staff. She was an integral part of getting this done. She serves on our equity, diversity, inclusion committee, and the support President Worthen and Tom Holmoe put behind it as well was just amazing. Basically, it's a hiring commitment to ensure that for every full-time hire in the athletic department, senior staff, athletic director, head coaches, and assistant coaches, each institution must have a member of a historically unrepresented community in that pool. And the interesting thing about college athletics is that if you have a head coach position open for a men's sport, you could satisfy this commitment by interviewing a qualified female candidate in that pool, because the numbers of women coaching men's teams in college athletics are woefully behind even the professional ranks.
And we should mention you are the first Latin female commissioner of a major league in Division I history, right?
Yes, male or female.
Male or female.
First person of Latin American descent.
That's awesome.
Yes.
So WCC leading the way in that regard as well. Regarding eligibility with these fall sports, you hope you can play in the spring. If you don't, when do you think the NCAA would rule on retaining eligibility potentially for these teams, as they did with the spring sports?
There was a memo from the Board of Governors, and the Board of Governors is that group of presidents who governs all 3 divisions, that said that they would suss out those answers by August 21. So we're hoping that, and several other answers with regard to financial aid and all those operational issues that come along after you make the decision about canceling fall sports. So we're hopeful to get more direction on those things in the next couple weeks.
Goodness, what's your to-do list like right now?
Nap. Big nap.
Understandably.
Position nap. No.
And
It's been I got to tell you, our group, I wouldn't want to go through this with any better group of administrators. Our 10 athletic directors and presidents have such a holistic, mission-based take to this. It's really about student athletes first and their welfare. We spent a lot of time talking about their mental health. And although this is a crushing and disappointing decision, I feel really good about our schools doing the right thing to support our student athletes during this time.
Gloria, we really appreciate you taking some time with us on the heels of a huge decision that was not easy to make. We wish you some rest. Enjoy that nap. Hopefully it lasts for a while. And we'll be glad to have you back on when we find out some things.
All right. Thank you both. Stay safe.
You got it. Same to you. Gloria Nevarez, the commissioner of the West Coast Conference, with us on BYU Sports Nation, courtesy